Alright, so how y'all doing, boys? Hope you're doing well. Now in today's video, we're finally giving the new HOWZER a try. Now, we are using him in the back. Main reason is, for this first showcase, I really wanted to get like the best usage out of him. And him being a barn support, he isn't really the best in the front at the moment with the barn team and how it's situated. If you have the Twiggo Holy Relic, he is definitely needed in the front, or at least he's definitely better in the front. So if you don't know what the new HOWZER does, his first card here is a Alt Gauge Depletion card. Second card here is a Detonate card, extra damage per orb on the enemy. And his ultimate here is, due to the fact he is the same HOWZER that we have originally, he does still have the bad substats, and he does still have the same ultimate, so you can use Gale Thunder and get like the combined attack. But looking at the passive here, which is, you know, the whole reason you'd use this HOWZER, increase damage dealt by 30% when an ally uses a Detonate skill. So as you saw from the cards, he's not really the best in the front, not getting like a whole lot of damage or utility out of him, but this passive is really good. Main reason being his Barnes card is a Detonate card, so hoping we can get some good damage out of Barnes, seeing Barn usually doesn't have the strongest single target attacks, so hopefully we can ramp them up a little bit. But looking at the equipment here, we just have Gotha's HP defense set on HOWZER, and looking at the costumes, they're nothing crazy, kind of just all the free-to-play ones and some extra purchase ones. But here we go, using this team today, 280cc, pretty good for the Barn team, and yeah, let's jump right into it. Here we go, and our first opponent is a full Archangel team. Now, surprised to see we're actually out to seeing people with the Barn team, but I will literally use any excuse to run this team again. Barn is by far my favorite unit, and the team in general is just like a really fun team. It's a team where you can turn your brain off a lot and kind of just let stuff happen, especially with like, you know, Twiggo now having a taunt. You don't have to worry about anything for the first 2 turns. You can kind of just deplete cards, hopefully get Barn cards, merge them, get the ultimate, and win the game. And your opponent can't buff themselves either to try and save themselves, because they literally just end up dying. It's that simple. Got really good card draw here, which is really, really nice to see. Thinking we're gonna use the gift card and get the 3-star Detonate. That way in the next turn we can throw off the 3-star. That's bad. I think I'm still gonna go for this. We get the max Barn, you know, stacks there on his HP. If we had Barn Holy Relic, this would be really good for us, because if we were to have Twiggo and Arthur die, we'd get the extra 30% damage, which, well, the extra 30% HP, which in turn gives him more ultimate damage and card damage. We'll have to see though. This is 6/6 Tarmiel. We could very well just die here. Tarmiel is just an absolutely insane unit. Please don't kill us. Okay, sweet, yeah. Gift card pulls through there, or he just could have not been like a max ult level. Is he gonna buff himself though? Because that's the thing, like with using this. I did actually finally buy my Barn to 6/6. With, you know, the release of the Gotha, we could finally buy coins, and I had like 12 Holy Relic, Holy Festival coins, so Barn 6/6, so if you don't buff yourself, you end up taking so much damage from the Detonate card. God damn, that was pretty impressive. But if you do buff yourself, then you take double damage from the ultimate, as you'll see here, so literally can just put yourself in situations with the Barn team where there's just inevitable wins, which is so nice about it. But here we go on to the second match. But no, like I was saying, the fact that, you know, with festival banners and the way they're going to continue them from now on, they're only going to give us the one unit, is definitely a shame. It's definitely going to make festival characters so much more exclusive. And although they said like the reason behind it was to make them less exclusive, and they were going to put on this banner that rotates around, you don't really want to summon on that banner. Like in turn, when you summon for that banner, you're using your gems that you could spend on when the new festival comes out on like a banner that, like, you get what I mean? Like, you're spending gems on a banner where, like, you're getting those old festivals, so when the new festival comes out, you're not going to be able to summon for that. This is usually, they're aiming to do this for the free-to-play players, and maybe this is a bot? I might just end up throwing these Barn cards out and seeing if we kill, especially since he didn't, like, drop the Elizabeth shield. That might actually be game. Yeah, look at that. Proc and revive instantly on Goddess Liz. And I think that's done, isn't it? God damn, Barn is just absolutely ridiculous. And a Assault Melee Seeker team. We might actually, when using the Barn team, he was the just biggest counter for Assault Melee. Being a unit that, like, you literally half the time you don't want to be throwing out cards, instantly just makes him so much better. And like with the fact that you'll see when like I throw out even like a single Detonate card, just how much damage you do to Assault Melee. And I was kind of guessing on him having evasion food there. So we get that out of the way. Main reason I use that over the Twiggo cards is because if we get Twiggo cards, we're just going to want to like merge them together. Don't really have to worry about them. Let's see that I'm gonna end up rushing the Barn ultimate here, but I don't think I'll actually throw out the card. There's nothing he can really do to like put any ult control on us, so he should be absolutely fine here. No dissolves or anything, which is like one of the main downfalls of the Assault Melee team. Yeah, we get, actually, let me change that up. I'll go 1, 2, and 3. Probably should have the Barn card on the left there, just in case we get like a lucky merger. That's right though, maximize card draw by getting the trigger to merge. And with him buffing himself with Sigurd, he ends up taking double damage, and like there's no extra protection on this team. So I feel as if though we're just gonna see an absolute one tap here. I do want to throw out the Barn single target card, but just for this one match, I really want to see how much ultimate damage you can do. And usually that Assault Meliodas AoE just carves up teams. But with the gift card, you just have so much extra survivability. Unfortunately, we don't have the gift card for this turn here, so we don't get to see just an absolute insane amount of damage from Barn. But we should be able to just one tap everyone here. Yeah, look at that, 2 million damage. And we get the forfeit. I'm kind of getting this feeling though with the Barn team, it almost doesn't matter who you have as the association. That is a lot of CC. Because like, if you end up using say like Escanor in the back, just in case he has to come to the front, and you end up out CCing people, you lose that ultimate gauge. So like, it's not a perfect scenario where like, everything is like in your like advantage. But if you end up using someone like HOWZER, he ends up coming to the front and being like a weak unit. So I'm not really too sure what you can do. Having Barn Holy Relic and having Twigo as like a tank is also insanely powerful. Like having a unit that can just like tank hits right off the bat and then also just like die if you need them to is really, really good, because you're in turn getting that extra 15% HP for Barn, which then in turn, if you rush the ultimate, and you're usually going second if your Twigo's just dying like right off the bat, you get that ultimate, and with the extra like 15% buff to his ultimate already one taps almost everything in the game. It's just game over at that point. Like with Holy Relics being added, the teams that have been blessed with the characters that have gotten Holy Relics, teams like this Barn team, which have now gotten, if you want to get the Arthur one, that's 3 Holy Relics. Actually no, Excalibur Arthur doesn't have one, it's the base Arthur. So what, 2 Holy Relics, and if you want to use like Escanor in the back, that's 3. Unfortunately, Escanor's one like isn't the best. What do we want to go for in this turn? Obviously throw up the taunt. I think I'm just going to try and maximize card draw here and see how much damage we can get with this one. HOWZER in the front now. We'll try and see if we can get some of his cards off just to see how good they do damage wise, but I'm still going to do a showcase with him in the front and just seeing how well he does like alongside Barn, like not his best scenario. Okay, if we don't get dissolved again in this turn, I will move the gift card and rush the ultimate. I'm gonna have to take an Escanor ultimate to the face though. Fingers crossed my Arthur can tank the whole thing. We do have the 2-star Nameless Dance, and with the recovery from the gift card, he should be max HP. And still, actually no, this is an ult gauge depletion card, isn't it? Yeah, okay, sweet, no, we'll be fine. Don't have to take that one to the face, which would have been fine. Like, I feel as if though my Arthur wouldn't have been able to tank the whole thing. The death effect definitely would have finished him off. We'll throw that one out there, and I felt like he would get the merger, but I was just like, surely not, right? I wanted to maximize card draw and see, but hey, look, now we can see the Arthur absolutely just get demolished by this Escanor. We can see if Barn can pull through with the comeback. I mean, if we had Holy Relic in this scenario, these two, I feel as if though these 2 detonate cards would just wipe, and geez, getting absolutely one tapped. No questions asked there. We're gonna die, aren't we? Yeah, that was my bad. I should have thrown out the 2 cards separately. That's on me. Probably should have suspected the worst as well and expected him to have a 6/6 Escanor. Let's see, getting out CC'd by this Barn team. Probably due to the fact he has an Escanor. He probably has Twigo on the back and Escanor on the front. If we were to replace our unit in the back with Escanor, we would have out CC'd him. Just not running a team and like having a unit that doesn't have Uagi now is such a big disadvantage. Like, everyone's gonna run the teams they have full Uagi for. Like, free-to-play players, there's no way they're gonna like want to summon for like go through and HOWZER and use the HOWZER just for fun. Like, you just can't build the unit up enough to like even have fun with them, if you get what I mean. It's strange, but units of just nowadays, you have to put so much investment into a unit to actually get use out of them. What do I want to... We'll chuck this one out here. Main reason I'm holding on to the gift card as well. If we have Twigo die, it's not terrible because we can kind of show off the HOWZER in the front. but I want to keep the gift card just in case we get an extra one here. We can merge it and in turn rush the ultimate, which thank God I did. Ended up being the better play. We are going to have to tank a Barn ultimate to the face though. If he's not 6'6", this is the thing, like although we're probably just about to get demolished by a Barn team here, what kind of ult level do you have? Please don't be... Okay, yeah, he has a 6'6" ultimate. We lose regardless here, and that's just like... That's the glory of the Barn team. You can just absolutely demolish, like... There's just those matchups where you get good card RNG, and you just win just because you're the Barn team. Like, that's just how it works. If we do have Barn survive here, we should be able to in turn wipe his whole team. It's unlikely though. 6'6" Barn is just an absolute menace. The fact that they gave him the... Is it Amplify? It's Rupture, yeah, sorry. Mind blank right there. The fact that they gave him the Rupture effect on 6'6" is so broken. I hope they don't continue to do that with, you know, characters and give them extra effects at 6'6", but although it's not my Barn team popping off, as you can see there, he's just a crazy unit, but no way we're winning this one. Let's just wrap up the video. There we go, and that just about does it for today's video. I mean, got off to a really good start. Unfortunately, the 4th match, that was entirely on me. That was my fault, but that 5 match was just an inevitable loss. But hey, I definitely saw, like, we were definitely doing more damage with the Barn cards, like the single target, the AoE cards, sorry, than if we weren't to have HOWZER. But is it worth having him in the back for the loss of CC? Like, having Escanor move to the front, especially in those situations where you just like haven't had all 3 of your main units wiped, is probably better. And like having a unit like the Red SR Greymoor that boosts your HP for all the units in the front, and then in turn also boosts Barn damage, although it's 15%, probably ends up being better as well. But hey, in all honesty, he's a good unit, he's a good support. If you want to run him, if you're like a HOWZER fanboy, probably a good time, you know, probably nice to have a unit that you can actually run nowadays. Red HOWZER and that just are completely useless. But there we go. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please hit like button, subscribe. Really means a lot to me, and I'll see you guys for some more Grand Cross content.